I'm Amanda Knox.
And I'm Christopher Robinson.
And this
is Who's Right? Between our usual Labyrinths episodes, we sit down to debate something quite serious.
Or silly.
And ask you, who is right?
It's me.
It's me.
It's me.
It's clearly me.
No, definitely me.
It's me.
Me?
No, me.
It's me.
How could it be anyone but me?
Says the man sleeping on the couch. I'm just laughing because our Christmas vibes are so very, very different right now. I was surprised that I don't really own any Christmas sweater. This is the closest thing. It's just a white sweater with baubles on it. But
whereas
it's not.
I have a notorious B.I.G. Christmas sweater.
And a velvet hat, and I had to fish this out of Eureka's costume closet.
Because you couldn't find any reindeer antlers.
Because I couldn't find any reindeer antlers in my life, and it's a shame.
Welcome to Who's Right Christmas.
Happy Christmas, everyone.
Or Merry Christmas.
Or Merry Christmas. I said it like a British person, which means I'm fancy.
Whenever the British people say that, a part of me is always like,
wrong word.
That's wrong, but maybe it's better.
Because we say happy birthday. We don't say merry birthday.
Right. And merry is a word you would think some, British person would say.
Right.
That's what's wrong with it. It's backwards. We should be saying happy and they should be saying merry.
Right. Because they're old-timey.
Yeah. All you Britons are more old-timey than us.
I guess that's a good introduction to our topic for today, which is yet another Christmas debate.
Yes, coming off the heels of our False Confessions series. Thank you for listening if you haven't yet.
Thank you.
Big 6-part, very heavy, dramatic series about coercive police interrogations. To kind of let go of all that energy here on Christmas Day, we are talking about another very contentious subject.
Christmas.
Or
all of the controversies surrounding it. So last year, I don't know if you recall, we were debating on whether or not we were going to introduce Santa Claus into our family dynamic. And that is one of the Christmas controversies.
Should we start with that? Because
No, we did that last year.
No, but I mean, there's an interesting update here.
Ugh.
That's...
Sure.
Put that on my tombstone. There's an interesting update here. So on Halloween, we decided to do a family costume, right? So we all went as the Nightmare Before Christmas.
Because that was Eureka's choice.
Yeah, obsessed with Jack Skellington, so she wanted to be Jack. Amanda went as Sally. Baby Echo, we got him a Oogie Boogie costume. And then I dressed up as Santa Claus, tied up in rope.
Perfect
Brilliant costume. But of course, Eureka's now seen me already in a Santa costume. Right. So I think...
And she's like, who's that guy?
And she's seen me not on Christmas in a Santa costume. So my sense of what she understands about Santa...
It's a costume.
It's a costume.
Yeah, it's a character like Jack Skellington in Nightmare Before Christmas.
So whether or not the idea of telling her that Santa's going to come and give her presents, I think she's already
it's already
at a
infiltrated.
Place. Yeah, because by the way, she's also what are you going to be for Christmas? Because she thinks that all holidays you should dress up.
Yes, which I
think
not
she's right.
opposed to. I think we're determining what costumes we're going to wear.
She wants to be a reindeer.
Yeah,
but she said I should be Santa.
That's right. She said you should be Santa.
So she kind of solved this problem for us.
Yeah, actually. It's just a costume you wear for Christmas now. Okay, but there are many, many controversies around Christmas, and we just thought we'd just go through them and see if there's any debate that can be had. So first of all, one that I think is potentially interesting and along the costume conversation is how do we feel about controversial Christmas sweaters? So not just the loud ones with the lights and the the sound effects ones, but the
Ooh,
ones that have
I'm
like
definitely against those.
but also the ones that have like reindeer fucking in the background or something.
I
or
haven't seen those.
Your brother has one of these.
He does?
Yes. So it looks like a regular, Christmas pattern. You know how like some
Like a knit thing?
Like a knit thing,
gotcha.
and it has the reindeers, but like it has the reindeers sort of mounting each other.
I'm totally pro that.
You're pro.
As long as, that's subtle, right?
That is subtle.
It's not like some graphic depiction. It's like
I'm going to look up some controversial holiday sweaters or Christmas sweaters.
I think that the rules here are the same as for normal society, right? If your sweater is, if it's going to be
There's some amazing Christmas apparel that I'm finding.
Do we need to get some?
Like this Christmas Western Santa cowboy printed Hawaiian shirt.
Ooh, that's actually
amazing.
Pretty rad. Yeah, put that on my Christmas list.
Yeah, I'm about to. Okay, I'm going to just save that. But okay, so as long as it's subtle, is that what you're saying?
I guess what I'm saying is Christmas doesn't change the rules for me. If you're wearing a shirt that's like graphically sexual on any day of the year, whatever that day is,
yeah,
I'm kind of like not here for it.
Yeah.
I don't need that in my life.
Yeah, I hear that.
And whether you put a Christmas gloss on it or not doesn't really change that. The same for shirts or sweaters that are like really verbally explicit and have a bunch of curse words. Like, right. I'm not 24 anymore.
Merry fucking Christmas, bitches. Yeah.
There are exceptions. I would.
You like that one?
Well, I would take like Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, with a picture of Bruce Willis wearing a Santa hat.
Okay.
Right.
All right. That's not too graphic. What about like a Christmas sweater that was made to look like his beat up, bloody, dirty
wife beater?
Wife beater.
Yeah. I'm down for that.
You're down for that.
Yes.
Okay.
Die Hard is the exception. That's what we're learning here.
Okay. So you don't like what about a sweater that had like that, again, that just looks like Mrs. Claus's cleavage is peeking through? Just like
really...
Yeah, it's like a deep V, but it's printed on the sweater.
Yeah. I think I'm okay with that.
You were okay with that, even though it's like meant to be...
it's cheeky, right? But it's not cheeky. Like... You're not seeing nips, right?
What if it's a sweater that has it's like boobs, but they have little Santa hats on the nipples?
You're just making stuff up now.
I'm $1 million ideas.
Yeah.
And it has little tassels that or just a sort of Christmassy sweater, but there are tassels that come off of the nips, like the nip area.
Christmas is about family time.
Or is it? Because that's another one of the controversies. Do you have to spend Christmas with your family?
I think we should move on to that.
Yes. Okay.
And you're allowed to get that sweater, just don't wear it in public.
Okay.
Wear it privately.
We didn't even talk about the loud ones, but I think the rule still applies. Loud clothing is horrible.
Clothing sucks. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have to spend Christmas with your family?
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty solidly on a no list.
If you like your family, if you love your family, great. If your family sucks, if they're estranged, whatever, no.
Please.
Spend time with your chosen family.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any... Is that a disagreement in society? You think there's some pressure that it's the holidays, you got to hang out with your jerk brother?
I think so, yeah. I think people would argue that family is family, and that of all times of the year to get over whatever bullshit that you have with your family, this would be the time of year to do it.
So I don't disagree with that.
Okay.
But that's not necessarily a moral duty or obligation. So yes, that's a great time for you to try and, rebuild some burned bridges and reconnect with family that have become estranged. Because the spirit is in the air for that sort of thing.
It's the whole message of love, actually.
Right? That said, I'm not going to fault anybody for not wanting to do that hard emotional work with their estranged relative on Christmas.
Right.
You get a pass there.
Okay.
You don't have to do that. Now, it might be a good time to do it if you feel the move to do so, but
Yeah, how many Christmas movies have been precisely about this? And maybe that's the problem is that like there's this
Hallmark has created an expectation.
Yes, this like story about the magicalness of Christmas and how it like heals wounds.
I mean, the sadder, more complicated thing is that I think a lot of people find themselves in a situation where, well, if they're going to go visit mom and dad, they're going to see such and such sibling or uncle or whatever it is who they have a really contentious relationship with.
Right.
And so it's not like you can piecemeal it out.
Right.
You're sort of forced by the family coming together element to spend time with somebody that you don't like.
Right.
Right. What do you do about that?
Well, I don't know. What do you do about that? Do you not go?
I mean, I think that's up to each individual and how deep the rift is and what caused it. You know, if someone molested you...
I feel like we're going to be taking a very libertarian approach to all of these controversies.
Yeah.
Like, do what you're going to do. I'm not
I have
you.
Yeah, I'm not going to give recommendations on that.
Okay, well, all right. So how about a more fun one?
Yep.
Real tree versus fake tree.
Went over to our friend's house last week, and they had a fake tree.
Mm-hmm.
My parents have a fake tree.
Mm-hmm. Your mom was mad about that, though.
About getting a fake tree?
Yeah, she resisted it, right?
For years.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then finally gave in because your dad can't lift a tree onto the car anymore.
Yeah, and she doesn't want him climbing a ladder.
Right.
And yeah. I mean, we're a real tree family, and Amanda's family went further than that. They had real candles on the tree.
Yes. Well, that's going to get into a little bit of another one, which is how religious/pagan should your Christmas be. But
let's bookmark that for a second.
Yes, we're going to bookmark that for another thing. But yes, we are a real tree with real fire kind of household.
Hey, you got to stand there with a fire extinguisher while you sing a few carols while the candles are burning, and then you put the candles out.
Right. Yeah, you don't just leave them on all the time, but yes.
But, that said, benefits of a real tree, it's more work. I weirdly think of that as a benefit. Like
opening up a pomegranate. And
like the adventure of going out, and especially if you go to a tree farm and cut it down.
Right.
I like that adventure.
Right.
It smells nice.
Yeah.
Right.
It smells great. It's kind of magical. Like, I think you're right that so some of the things that people would put as deficits, so it's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
It's dirty.
Yeah.
Ours fell over the first night we got it, so it's precarious.
I wonder about the environmental impact. I don't really have a good intuition about how environmentally sound this practice is.
Yeah, that's a good question, because on the one hand, you're cutting down a bunch of trees at the same time, but on the other hand, you are spending all the rest of the year growing trees in a space that otherwise might just be grass.
Yeah,
so,
I think I don't have enough information to feel one way or the other about the environmental impact.
Right. And also I think a question that relates to this is, how are trees then recycled? Are they just thrown in the garbage? Are they treated as
ideally
clean
it becomes
green?
An awesome crackly bonfire.
Like it does in our home, but not everyone has a fireplace, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So a lot of people feel really strongly about this, though.
Do they?
That fake trees are just...
Bullshit?
Bullshit, yes. But on the other hand, I'm of the opinion that getting a real tree into your house is just not manageable for many, many people.
Oh, totally.
So I don't have anything against a fake tree. Do I think it's kind of a lesser tree?
You gonna judge?
I mean, no, I'm not gonna judge them. But if, it is a lesser Christmas tree in my opinion. I mean, what's funny, I say that, and yet, even I don't really notice that much when someone has a fake tree versus a real tree, because I have a notoriously bad sense of smell. I just don't smell things. I don't know what's wrong with me. I think my nose is constantly clogged or something. I can't smell things very well.
Yeah, you do have a terrible sense of smell.
Yeah, it's weird. So it's not like I'm assaulted with Christmas tree smell every time I walk into a house with a real Christmas tree.
I mean, maybe this is a good segue into the pagan thing, because One of the reasons I agree with you about judging the fake tree is that it just feels like more and more divorced from the like nature side of this.
Yes. So this is where the controversy around the religiosity of the holiday comes into play. So some people think that Christmas is too religious, that there's just too much Jesus all of a sudden and in schools and blah, blah, blah. Other people don't think it's religious enough because it's become about Santa Claus and commercialization. And other people would argue that really we should be stepping back and embracing a more pagan attitude towards it, which is celebrating the darkest time of the year, the returning of the light.
Is this related to the war on Christmas, or is that a separate controversy?
It's related to the war on Christmas.
Because the war on Christmas is like, you know, to steel man the right-wing side here. It's the left, you know, taking Christmas down a peg in terms of it's like the pinnacle of holidays and recognizing that other people have other traditions and that this is a time for happy holidays where we're all doing our holiday thing. You may not be a Christian. You might be Jewish. You might be something else entirely.
They want it to be an inclusive holiday. And when it's Christmas and not Xmas or like happy holidays, they feel like you're taking the Christ out of Christmas.
So is like, you know, is the pagan roots of this, is that just one of the things that's one version of what people are doing at the holidays? Or do you think that's somehow deeper or more important?
I think that, one argument against the Christ at Christmas time is that, well, actually Christmas, that the Christians took over the holiday from a pagan holiday, which was the winter solstice holiday.
Yeah. And I remember reading that like Jesus was likely actually born in the summer.
I don't know when he was likely. I don't know when he was likely born. I know that
they shifted his birthday,
right? Because there was this idea of like the coming sun, and if he's the coming sun, then it's the birth of the new sun. So they were like, okay, we're just going to put him. We're going to instead of the sun, we're going to put Christ there. And
it's not S-O-N.
It's not that different than what you were already doing. And interestingly,
how do we get these pagans to worship our God and give us money?
Apparently, the Puritans banned Christmas celebrations because they said that they were too pagan.
Huh.
So, another fun factoid.
Okay.
But I do think, especially people our age who have potentially religiosity in our background, but we're not religious ourselves, there is this sort of growing interest in going back to a kind of spiritual root to the holiday, but that may be more grounded in a kind of pagan version of it that is about nature, and it's about the cycle of our lives, the cycle of the seasons. It is about like acknowledging that this is the darkest time of year, but like there's a shift happening and we're coming back to life and the light. Hence all of the, that's why we put up Christmas lights. They come from lighting bonfires because it's the darkest time of the year. So all of those roots come back to that like just idea that we are on this like dark planet all of a sudden, and we wanna come back to the light. So I'm kind of into that. Like a part of me is like, yeah, why don't we say Merry Yule?
Yuletide, yeah.
Yeah. And if we want to sound really old-fashioned-y, Merry Yuletide.
Yeah. I'm not sure that that's a widely held thing, the way you're saying, as much as it might be your circle of hippie friends.
I do live on a hippie island, so.
That said, I get that and resonate with that, and I like the nature side of it. Having the tree in the house feels kind of magical because you're bringing nature into your space. And there is something about, that mug of hot cocoa or a hot toddy, whatever it is, feels like very deepest, darkest winter kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right? But there are other elements that I think about with Christmas, and not from the religious side because I let that go long ago, but just the gift giving, for example. Like, what does that have to do with the pagan roots, if anything?
Right.
Or is that just
doesn't.
A different element that's been layered on top of it?
That is the commercialization of the holiday. So.
Well, hold on. the commercialization is a yet another layer on top of gift giving.
Right. So you're talking about like all of the movies and what do you mean?
Like there was a time when people were just making shit for each other.
Right.
Right? Instead of having to buy the new toy at the store because your kid saw a commercial.
Everything on Black Friday.
Yeah.
Quick, Black Friday.
That's another layer, and we can talk about that. But beneath that layer, there is a non-commercial, perhaps you would argue more wholesome tradition of like finding something nice for somebody, making them something, doing something for them, like being generous, like the Scrooge, the Christmas Carol, right?
Generosity. I think generosity has been perverted. Like the spirit of generosity has been perverted to mean needing to buy everything on Black Friday.
Let's get to that later. But what I want to talk about is just this element of let's do nice things for each other. Let's go around to the neighbors and sing them songs. Let's bake cookies for our friends.
Let's give to the poor.
Yeah. And let's, I'm going to, do something nice or make something or buy something. We've been in a commercial society for a long time, right? For my family and friends and people. Like, I think there's something really cool about that. I'm not sure where that comes from. I don't think that has pagan roots.
No, I don't think so. No.
And it doesn't seem to have Christ-related roots.
No, I don't think so either. Yeah, where does that come from? You know what? I'm going to look it up. Gift giving.
But, as that got transformed by contemporary society and capitalism, yes, now it's, get everything on Black Friday, Cyber Monday.
This is a Christian thing.
It is.
Because the three wise men bring gifts when they go to meet Jesus at his birth.
Huh.
That's where the tradition apparently came from, says AI Google. So, for what that's
grain
worth.
of salt, yeah.
Yeah. So supposedly that is where that came from. The three wise men bringing frankincense, myrrh, and what was it?
Yeah, what's the third one?
Myrrh, let's see. Gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
Gold.
Maybe we should just give people gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
What do I look like? Jesus? Yeah.
Hey, listeners. Thanks for tuning in. This podcast would not exist without your support.
We're all navigating our own personal maze.
And you don't have to be stuck in a prison cell to feel trapped in your own life.
Our mission with Labyrinths is to find growth and resilience through trauma, and we do that with a commitment to our core values.
Curiosity in a time of outrage. Compassion as a tool for understanding.
And the courage to ask hard questions and avoid easy answers. Please consider becoming a patron. Visit patreon.com/KnoxRobinson. For as little as $5 a month, you can get ad-free episodes and join our online community.
We even offer signed books and live monthly video hangouts. So please, grow with us. Join our community. Visit patreon.com/KnoxRobinson. You're running low on myrrh? Got some myrrh for you.
What were we on? We're on the
gift giving.
Gift giving.
Yes. Should we be giving gifts?
I mean, we've talked about this in relation to birthdays, that I'm kind of, the older I've gotten, the less important gifts are to me.
The more over gifts you are, except that people love to give gifts to children. And what are you going to do? Say no?
I mean, I'm more of an experience kind of person. I understand that, like,
who has the time to experience things? Just give me something.
Who has the time to experience things?
Give me time.
Yeah.
Give me time to sleep, please.
But like stuff as opposed to, let's go out to a nice meal together. My treat, or hey, I got you a spa weekend or whatever it is, right?
That's nice.
Like there's various ways to give someone a gift that's not like another item to be in your house, right?
True.
And I am much more in that capacity, even just like quality time with somebody. Like, I think as a gift, I would much rather, have my friend or family just find a way to like make time in our lives to, like, for instance, if my brother was like, hey, I wrote this D&D adventure, let's play D&D some weekend.
Oh, that would be a great
gift.
Yeah.
That said, who has the time?
I'm looking at our schedule going,
do I have time to write a D&D adventure for somebody, And so gift giving happens. I'm bad at making a list for people because I don't.
I have been taking care of this all this year.
You've made a list for me?
Oh, no, I make lists for you, yes. Yeah.
Thanks.
I try.
I don't know. I mean, I don't really want stuff.
I know, but then occasionally, very occasionally, you do randomly in July, and I have to remember what it is, and I throw it on your list.
I'm just impulsive, and if I want something, I just get it.
I know. I hate, the waiting for the actual gift opening part is really hard for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate waiting. It's like it's right there. I could be using it right now. Whatever it is, I don't even know what it is. But, because, I don't know, it is a bit chaotic when the Christmas presents all get unloaded, And it kind of feels
crappy. The waiting
is,
why does it feel crappy?
Well, it kind of feels crappy when the gift you gave someone gets second or third or fifth fiddle to the, the weird giant dollhouse that someone else got your kid, They can't really appreciate all the gifts that you give them because they're throwing a bunch of gifts all at the same time.
Specifically about the child. It would be better if they got one thing.
Or even adults. At a certain point, you start inevitably rating your gifts as they're coming in, going oh, this one was awesome. That one was crappy. And you're not really appreciating that even the crappy gift was a gift.
Yeah, but sometimes people phone in the gift. Can't tell you how many times we've gotten cat-themed things because we have cats. And it's okay, a cat mug,
Well, so
what am I going to do with that?
I don't know. I think that
I try to drink it and the cat ears poke my eyes.
Well, but people saw a thing and it reminded them of you. And isn't that the spirit of Christmas?
No, I'm going to be more judgy here. The way to be a good gift giver is to imagine what that other person is like. You have to have empathy for what they're like and not just imagine that they're like you.
Okay,
and what
also,
bad gift givers are like is they're just well, I like this, so you'll like this. Or they have a very superficial understanding of who you are and what you like. So here you go. You're a
they
writer.
also don't
Here's
know what you
journal.
have.
Are you claiming you don't know how to be a good gift giver? I think you do.
I struggle with this. Right now, I'm trying to figure out what to get my stepmom, and I'm what do I give her? What does she not already have?
You're giving away that this is not being recorded live on Christmas morning.
People know it's not recorded live. I don't know. I struggle with that. I typically like to ask people, what do you actually want?
Maybe what there needs to be is some sort of questionnaire you develop that is aimed at extracting some answers that allow you to figure out what to get them without it being so direct.
What are you into this year?
Yeah.
What, that kind of thing.
And instruct them to be somewhat vague. Oh, you've gotten really into woodworking. Okay. Don't tell me anymore. Don't tell me you want this particular tool.
But what if that is the particular tool?
Then just buy it yourself. I don't know. I feel like it's when you're just telling someone what to get you, it just lessens the magic of it for me.
It does kind of lessen the magic.
Right? The best gift is one that you didn't even know you needed this thing.
Yeah, but
right?
not. I feel like so many. If that is the standard, though, you're inevitably going to get disappointed year after year after year unless you have an astronomically good gift giver in your family, because to get a thing that you are just overjoyed to have that you did not even think of, that's a big ask of somebody.
I've given you gifts like that.
Yeah, well, you know me very well, but do you know my stepmom that well?
So, what's the alternative? We just be okay with.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know.
Now, here's one.
Just give me a gift card then.
Well, that's a controversy. Do you if people ask for money,
Mm-hmm.
do you give them money? Now,
or just can it be a gift card? Is that different? Like, there's layers here. There's like, just give me a pile of cash. Here's a gift card to a particular place. That's money that you can buy on this store or Amazon or whatever. And then here's the thing I want. It costs this amount of money, and here's where you buy it. Buy it for me. In each of those scenarios, there's no surprise of the gift. There's no like creativity involved on the part of the gift giver.
right.
I don't really think that giving someone cash is all that different from buying the thing they told you they wanted.
So here's what, this is funny, like people feel really strongly about this. It's a gift for many people is not about the money. It's about the thought, and it's about the gesture of having a physical object to wrap and to present to somebody. And there's something that is so very like crass and cheapened about here's a gift card, or here's a envelope full of money.
What if they make a big box and then boxes within boxes, and then in the middle box is some money?
Those are also obnoxious. That's a wasteful is what that is.
But there's no thought involved in getting someone the gift that they told you they wanted.
But it's the fact that like you
went
and obtained an object and then wrapped it and then gave it to them. Like there's some, I understand. Like, look, I have been on the receiving end of cash and been like, oh, thank God. But at the same time, it does feel different than if someone got you the dress that you were really looking at.
I will say there is still an element of surprise when you make a list, because you don't actually know if people are going to get you the things on your list or not.
And the other thing about the money thing is typically the idea behind a gift is it's like a treat that you wouldn't otherwise give for yourself, right? The idea is like,
I mean, that's one gift philosophy.
Yes.
Right.
And money does not fulfill that aspect of the gift. You might buy groceries with that money. That's not a gift.
Like if you just opened a box and it was a bunch of like rice and socks and toilet paper.
Someone got it from the food bank. You're like, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. But sometimes you're in need.
Yes.
And you would rather have necessities than treats.
Right. And sometimes somebody's interpretation of a treat for you goes right into the bin for the Goodwill.
Yeah.
Right? So
Is that up to like gauging who the person is and how they're going to react to money? Like,
we're, for the record, we are giving people money this year.
Because they asked for money.
Yes.
Yeah. So they're like, I'm saving up, blah, blah, blah.
But some people are deeply offended by the idea that someone would even ask for money as a gift. So, and I kind of get it.
Yeah. I mean, it also, the thing is, it just puts a dollar amount.
Exactly.
It just reduces it to a dollar amount.
Yes.
It's like, okay, well, how many dollars are you worth to me?
Yes.
Cousin.
Yes.
Whatever, right?
Exactly.
And when there's an actual opportunity to put thought into what you get them, then the dollar amount is less relevant.
Yes.
But then the thought is what matters.
Yes.
And that's why it's like, I don't care if this was a $5 thing or a $50 thing. If I can tell that you thought about it for 2 seconds or for 2 hours, that's what matters to me.
Yes.
And that's what's going to affect whether or not I'm going to enjoy this object you bought me. Right? So I think no matter what, you're gauging as the receiver whether or not how much they care about you based on what they got you. You know?
And
$10, I asked for money, you got me $10.
Yeah, exactly. You know? Like, and then it's like, okay, you want money? Okay.
You're a $10 kind of cousin, you know? Right? But is that any different than like, oh, you got me a
CD?
Yeah. You got me an old VHS tape of Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe you're into
Vintage
old
VHS tapes.
Yeah, you know?
You know what? This is totally off topic, but I've noticed now that people collect cassette tapes. They're trying. I don't know if the industry or if like vintage stores or whatever are trying to push this on people, or if this is an organic thing from the bottom up. But like the way that people they collect records, even though they're inconvenient and they don't sound as high quality.
They're collecting VHS tapes.
And cassette tapes.
Huh.
Like the record stores now sell cassettes.
That's true.
And you know what I mean? Like cassettes, it's a terrible technology.
Yes. I think it's just the novelty of its inconvenience.
Like, are there weird hipsters out there who have their cassette players that are like, let's put on some music. Click, rewind, you know.
I can't say that I've seen them out and about. I feel like it's more of an item.
I've never been at someone's house where they like put on a cassette.
No, I feel like they just have it as a thing that clutters their space.
Christmas idea this year. Get someone a cassette tape, see how they react. Here it is.
It's vintage. It's vintage.
MC Hammer's too legit to quit.
Okay, so let's wrap this up with one last controversy. And that is the Christmas creep.
The Christmas creep? What's that?
The Christmas creep is how early is too early
I see.
for there to be Christmas decorations or Christmas-themed Starbucks drinks, et cetera, et cetera. Eureka, the day after Halloween, was ready for Christmas. And I kind of am too.
See, you're both wrong. The reason that...
Some people insist that it has to be after Thanksgiving, and I'm like, nah.
That's because those people are not appreciating that Thanksgiving is the best holiday.
Okay, well, so...
Thanksgiving, I just want to go on a rant here.
Okay.
Thanksgiving is the best holiday, okay? There's no commercialization. You don't have to buy anything. It's not tainted by that.
Except a turkey.
You don't have to buy a turkey.
You don't?
No.
We did. We also made fried chicken, though, this year, which was amazing.
It doesn't have weird religious roots.
Okay.
It does have some colonial stuffed in there. Rethink this for a second. But at its core, it's about spending time with people you love and enjoying a good meal. Like, that's the event.
Yeah.
And I find that it's really hard to hate on spending time with people you love and eating a good meal. Like, that's amazing.
But there are no costumes and there are no decorations. Come on.
You put gourds up, decorative gourds. You put decorative gourds up in the house.
I did, but that's out of desperation.
All right. All I'm saying is that the people who want
like
Christmas to start before... Yeah, autumn leaves are beautiful. Are you kidding me? If you start before Thanksgiving, the main cost is that you're giving short shrift to Thanksgiving. You're not giving time for gratitude to be this. And that's the other thing. Like the dominant emotion of Thanksgiving is gratitude. It's a very important emotion. It's one we should be indulging in more throughout the year. And it's really important, I think, to have...
Not generosity, which is what Christmas is supposed to be.
Generosity is also important, but I think gratitude is more fundamental.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I would agree with that.
And I don't want to lose sight of that.
Could there be more costumes and or
Thanksgiving
decorations?
Day parade? There's huge parades on Thanksgiving.
Not where I'm from.
Yeah, you got to watch it on TV. It's
I don't
want
to watch something on TV.
I know.
So we need to have better Thanksgiving decor and or costumes. But I agree with you.
We should all be dressing up as turkeys or whatever.
Something. Give me something.
Yeah.
And then I'll get on board, because I agree with you that the fact that it's like there are no gifts, it's just time with people you love, cooking a smorgasbord of food. Now, some people would argue that the food on Thanksgiving is not great.
Well, they don't eat at our house.
They don't eat at our house. So we're not even going to get into that. So I'm with you. But like the decorations and the holiday markets at Christmas time.
I hear you. There's also no like such thing as Thanksgiving music.
Right.
So it's not like you can, after there's Halloween music.
There's definitely
You're
Halloween
listening to
music.
Thriller and stuff, right?
And there's definitely Christmas music, but where's the Thanksgiving music?
I get you. There are Thanksgiving-y drinks. I feel like the pumpkin spice latte is a fall drink, right?
It is, but it comes like basically as soon as September happens, that's when we get pumpkin spice latte. So I don't know. I just feel like Thanksgiving is given short shrift on festivity.
There is one thing with the Advent calendar that has a religious element that I find really nice, which is that it creates a bookend to the season. It demarcates an official starting point.
Yeah. Start, end.
Right? December 1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Although then there's like that weird space between Christmas and New Year's where everyone's just sort of...
That's like the purge.
Tired and
it's just
gross.
Like rules don't apply there. We can do whatever we want. You don't have to answer emails.
It's true. It is the purge.
That's a topic for a different news,
yes.
right?
Maybe, yes.
Yeah.
Towards New Year's.
Wait, one last one. Do you need to be honest, or is the white lie encouraged when someone gets you a gift that you just really don't like, that you're going to immediately give away or bring to Goodwill or whatever?
So my experience with this is you don't say a motherfucking thing or your head will get ripped off. And that's just from experience.
So, there's one side of this is it's nice to have a moral commitment to not lie under any circumstances.
You don't have to say anything, though.
But that turns you into Larry David or Kramer, if you walk around society, right? That haircut's awful, right? But
I don't think you should lie.
Look,
I just think...
know if you open the gift and you're just like,
next.
Yeah, they know because they're expecting you to go,
well, you should
thank you for the sweater,
you should say thank you. And
some people are like, I've never seen you wear that sweater I got you.
And you're like, oh, you just don't see me.
I just wear it on Tuesdays. Because I think I have alternated on this. Sometimes I've been honest with people.
I have done it, and it was not good. I will say that.
Who'd you do it with?
I'm not going to tell you this on the air.
Some things are just too private.
Yes.
But I also think people want to get you something that you want.
Well, they have to be the kind of person who's able to take feedback. And I don't know,
my mom has been like this. She's like, I don't know if you like this or not, but, I can take it back. And I've sometimes been like, yeah, it's not really my style.
Yeah, well,
let's take it back.
I think if someone gives you that sort of nod, like, I got you this, but I don't even know if you like it. So if you don't like it, then give it back to me and I'll get something you do like. I think if someone gives you that, then it gives you permission to say. But if they haven't given you that, then don't say a thing.
But don't pretend to like it.
No, yeah, you don't lie and say, oh my God, this is my favorite thing and I wear it all the time. No, you just sort of shrink into the background Homer into a bush.
Yes, well, here's hoping you don't have to shrink into the background like Homer into a bush today.
Have a very Merry Christmas, everyone.
Happy Christmas.
Very happy Christmas.
Have a very happy Christmas.
Indeed.
You know where to find us.
AmandaKnox.com.
And on Bluesky.
What am I on Bluesky? At Amanda Knox?
Yep. .com.
AmandaKnox.com on Bluesky.
At wisecracker.bsky.social.
And
we're on Instagram.
At Amama Knox.
At MC Carbon. And, boy, I hope you don't do anything you'll regret during the purge days to come.
Gross. Bye.